Yeah, man. Shout out to my cousin Mariah for doing and Tamika for doing that podcast, man. I really appreciate that. You know, that was good. You know, and a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to talk about. There were some comments, you know, on the page about us judging religion and Christianity, and you know, I think it's funny because I don't really think they was listening to, you know, my cousin Mariah and what she was saying. That was her opinion, and not just her opinion, that was her perspective. She lived it like I lived it. And not even that too, I feel like, damn, when you want to hold the black church accountable, you know, you get a lot of flack behind that. You know what I mean? Holding the black church accountable. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, there's a lot of black kids that grew up in the black church. They don't know nothing about stocks, bonds, 401k, mutual funds, life insurance policies. They don't never talk about that. I don't remember nobody talking about that in church growing up. We're not even talking about the religious context and the belief system. I'm just talking about how it didn't benefit black folk. I felt like a lot of times they were more worried about if you got married than they were if you knew about stocks, bonds, 401k, real estate, life insurance, you know what I mean? Financial literacy. I felt like there was not enough spoken about that, you know what I mean? And when you look at the dominant society and what they got going on, it's crazy. Because, you know, you can ride around and see that the dominant society, they have no problem going to these concerts. I was looking on Twitter, and brother Dewan B, he was at this concert. It wasn't nothing but Latinos and whites there. It was a sprinkle of niggas, but it was a whole bunch of Latinos and whites there. And what I noticed was they hate us, you know, because they can't be us. You know, which me and David always talk about the intrinsic value and having it in yourself. And that'll make you want to support other people. So shout out to Tasha, my sister Tasha. Shout out to Mariah. They, you know, they getting at my brother David about, you know, purchasing, you know, and patronizing his business, man. And that's what it's about, recycling the black dollars. It's not about, well, I ain't spending that much because I get it. You know, people got, you know, bills to pay and shit to worry about, and I understand that. But, you know, damn, it comes a time where these people don't mind spending, other racial groups don't mind spending money on things that they like. You know what I mean? And we have to stop allowing them to categorize us as just their entertainment. You know, what's wrong with us just entertaining each other? Why we gotta entertain them and go through all the bullshit and play all the games, and then you go in their neighborhoods and their communities? I haven't done it yet. I'm in one of their communities, just on the freeway, but eventually I'm gonna start riding around their communities to show you the infrastructure of how they live and show you what's going on. And these are regular neighborhoods, and they're not worried about this. Man, gas is $6.33 a gallon. You know what I mean? And a lot of the times I feel like we act like we got a lot of time, and we really don't. Time ain't on your side, especially, you know, everybody getting older. Things are getting more expensive. And I think this is a time now where we gotta, you know, kind of band together. But we can't have that four-wall effect like Neely Fuller Jr. talks about. You know, we just can't have that anymore. Like, I'm not into getting together with people for us not to solve anything. And now that, you know, we're not doing anything, we have to have the mindset of, you know, when we get together with our fellow brother, sister, okay, what are we doing? What are we working on? And last but not least, man, we got to mean what you say and say what you mean. And not just that, I'm talking about as far as your individual growth. You know, don't be mad. Shout out to my sister Roxanne and Nuke and them too. Like, mean what you say and say what you mean. That's what I like about them sisters too, along with everybody else that I've dealt with. Like, you know, you have to mean what you say and say what you mean. Do good work for yourself. If you're not doing good work for yourself, how you gonna help somebody else? You're not gonna be able to help nobody else. Only thing you're gonna be able to help is yourself in this life. You only got your lane. And when you ride around different neighborhoods and you see how the dominant society is living, it will blow your mind. I think people see it on TV, so it kind of doesn't register. But when you're riding around and you see this shit, it's a whole nother ball game. It's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of us feel like we can block it out, and you can for the most part. You can block it out. You can't be like, ah, well, you know, I don't live like that, so I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? But it is. He's like, well, why are you talking about this? Well, I'm talking about this because we built the country for free. I've had people tell me, well, you weren't there. Well, nigga, go tell a white Jewish dominant society person, well, they weren't there when the Holocaust took place, and see how long you last in the United States of America Incorporated. So I feel like we just gotta wake up, you know what I'm saying, and stop worrying about what other racial groups are doing in terms of, you know, following their trends in a negative way. No, let's buy black. Let's pull our resources together in a good way and stop worrying about who else ain't doing it. Man, if you do it, then that's your bragging rights about, man, well, at least I did it and can't nobody tell me nothing. And I think that's the most important thing, man, having intrinsic value and holding people and other racial groups accountable. That's why we holding the black church accountable for the lack of knowledge and basically educating us in a certain way and socializing us in a certain way where, damn, we know about mutual funds and stocks and bonds and 401k and life insurance policy. Now it's time for us to start holding other racial groups accountable. And with that said, I'm out. Peace.